Because I don't have to eat this in the car immediately or anything.
Hold what, the comp?
Yeah.
No, you're good.
You're gonna keep it there?
Yeah. I tested it out.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds fine. Just, you gotta speak slightly above normal
Okay.
to get it out.
What is it? Oh yeah, I know this.
You know this gag. Let's see. You want
I don't have to eat
the comp?
Yeah.
No, you're good.
You're gonna keep it there?
Yeah. I tested it out.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds fine. Just, you gotta speak slightly above normal
Okay.
to get it out.
What is it? Oh yeah, I know this.
You know this gag. Let's see. You want it up?
I assume that would be better for sound.
That's fine. It's up to you. I just don't want to have the car on and it be just the whole time. That's what interfered.
Oh, okay.
But ambience is okay.
Oh, okay. I thought we were taking off.
We can either do this real quick right here. I don't know where I'd go. I think I'd be more distracted if I was driving somewhere.
Oh, okay.
We could chill.
Okay, so you have chill time?
Yeah, I need to chill.
Okay, cool. Well, cool.
chill
Then
now.
I will have a few bites of this and no seatbelt. That makes
Go for
more
it.
sense.
Well, I have to do an intro and it's already going, so I'm still de-stressing.
1 minute intro.
Right.
This has been the intro.
Yeah, this was it, guys. Welcome to the Brainwaves. Hello. No, wait, that's the wrong thing.
It is?
Welcome to Brain Flakes, brought to you by the Brainwaves. Hello.
Oh, Brain
Yeah.
Flakes.
Yeah, a little bit more official. The Brain Flakes is ideas and commentaries on things we know absolutely nothing about, like 90% of the time.
Can the art be like a cereal box of Brain Flakes?
Are you high? that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's what it is. It's a pretty simple idea, brought to you by some pretty above average guys. That's the intro. Hope you like the show. Yeah. So yeah, let me do an intro for you then, because I wrote it down and I think it's funny. So let's see. Well, here it is. I'm gonna screw it up, even though I wrote it down. So we have with us, obviously I'm Gabe, and we have Drew. His name is Drew Kivlen. He's 24 years old, right? You're 24?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. He has glasses, so that makes him our resident expert on pretty much everything. He's a music man with an animal-loving plan, and he's a good friend.
I like the rhyme.
Right, exactly. It's a good intro. Anything you'd like to add to yourself, just to give you yourself some more credibility?
Credibility. I don't know what we'll be talking about. What I'm credible for.
Okay.
I'm credible for being a human being with many thoughts.
Okay.
For sure.
There we go. That's what we need. That's what the show's about. All right. So, my first question to you is a philosophical one. It's a thoughtful one, and it's 3 words. It's 1 word 3 times. I want your opinion on what would be the best pronunciation. All right. Here we go. Bologna, Bolognese, or bologna.
Bolognese.
Yeah, because saying those other 2 and then saying bologna just sounds terrible. And I don't know what the actual... Is that how you say bologna? Is it bologna? Bologna.
I'm positive it's bologna. Yeah, well, right?
It sounds terrible
I mean,
next to those very weird ways of saying
yeah,
it.
it's spelled... I mean, I'd love to see how it's spelled at the moment.
Or
Because
bologna.
I don't think I could spell it.
Yeah.
Bologna's one
Bologna.
of the
That was going to be the
many pronunciations.
Yeah, bologna.
But
I like bolognese.
Bolognese is my favorite. It sounds French.
Yeah,
it
that turns
the
it into
fanciest
French. Yeah.
of, like, if I was going to bullshit my smart sounding speech and it had bologna in it, I would say bolognese.
Bolognese.
But I think Oscar Mayer has had commercials and they say baloney in the commercial. So that is my source, my
expert source.
My expert source of
Okay.
intelligence on baloney pronunciation.
That works for me. I think I'd have to, go to Italy or something to get some better, or just have someone that speaks Italian and say baloney in a sentence. Is that where it's from?
Italian?
I don't know. I'm assuming. Is that bad of me to assume that's where that's from?
I don't know. What are the...
It's like bologna and like lasagna.
Man, this is outside of my knowledge base.
Take those glasses off.
Need Kayla on the podcast. She knows a lot about food.
Oh, hey, is it bolognese?
No.
Definitely
not.
That's the first one. I think we're more confused than before, but it was definitely on my mind. I'll give you the floor soon if there's anything you want to say, but I got a few more. What do you feel? And I'm gonna give my own explanation of this, and then let you answer. But here's the tagline. It's called "That Inspired Feeling and Its Subjective Uselessness." Okay. So there have been two sources that I've looked at for inspiration for myself, so things that are reachable, like people around me, like within my group, not within my friend group, but within, people I interact with. And one I consider to be like, okay, like he's putting in the work, he's doing what he wants to do, but I don't necessarily think that the content is up to snuff. Like, he's doing a bunch of stuff and it's just not like as good as what I would think I could possibly do. Right? So I use that to inspire me to like, oh, well, if I'm saying that, I might as well go and do it.
Right.
Instead of just making it talk, actually put some action to it. And then on the other side of that, so that's inspiring, but only fleeting.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, it's someone who is a step ahead, who's not only doing it, but actually releasing the content and making it really good.
Right.
And he's only incrementally advanced than me.
You're like
I could beat him.
He's the one who is doing it and doing it to a degree that you can appreciate. And you're like, oh, I feel like I could match that almost.
Yeah. I could achieve that. Yeah. And it's almost like, it's like, I would even say like a race. Like, I could see the guy behind me, but I could also see the guy 2 steps in front of me. I just need to, I need to be faster than him, and I need to be 2 steps ahead of that guy.
Honestly, that reachable goal. I have inspirations that look similar to that for me, and I feel like when I see that, I want like them to, I want to just talk with them, or like have a how they did it videos. I'm like, I'd watch the shit out of those.
Yeah.
I feel like there is a market for like people who want to gain the level of like the success in their arts and things on that level.
Sorry, I had the first phone interruption. I'm so sorry.
Jeez.
So unprofessional.
You set up this podcast.
Could have sworn I turned it down. Of course it's the wife. But no, that's the thing. It's like, it's inspired me in both ways. But at the end of the day, it's still whether or not I go through with it. Still whether or not I do it. Like today, I haven't gone into it, but just you already know the amount of like stress and hassle I've, had just to get to where I am right now today, to get myself to do this, and it's been insane. It doesn't always have to be, but I kind of made that a thing because I wanted it now, and I wanted it today, and I set that goal for myself, and I kind of threw caution to the wind and then went for it. His went off too. His phone went off.
Didn't hear it.
just so you guys know. But yeah, and that's where the uselessness comes in. I could see both, and it still is up to me to do it. And I could have just been like, you know what, fuck it. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. It's adding way too much stress to my day. I didn't need this. I'll do it next week, Or I could say, fuck it, I'm not going to do it at all. Obviously, I can't do it because, and all the negative impact that both of those people have without them even knowing. And that's annoying too. It's like I'm using these people and it doesn't bother them one way or the other,
They don't know you're doing it.
Yeah, they have no idea I'm doing it. And I feel bad that like my competition is kind of with myself, but also with the image that the guy that's 2 steps ahead of me is having, where I'm like, okay, you got 1, I need 2, you got 3, I need 6, kind of thing. But he doesn't know. You know what I mean? So I feel kind of weird about it, but at the same time, I'm like,
well, because
should I use that?
I mean, I think that well, I guess I can't know this, but I feel like all the art that I do, I have to, when I do it, and it sounds like you do it too, like you have to do it for yourself, you
Yeah.
know? Like he doesn't know that you're in a silent competition with him. And that's good. And I feel like that competition is almost just between you and yourself too.
Yeah.
With this kind of like ideal that's more like outside of yourself for sure. But he really doesn't play a part besides just setting a standard or example or whatever that you yourself internally battle to get to.
Yeah.
Which is
that's what I'm
that's
what I'm up with right now. That's what I'm dealing with, and it's really difficult.
It is.
It does feel like me versus myself, like 100%, you know, and getting that to actually be a thing. But it's also like the biggest thing I struggle with is creative integrity, you know, like is what I'm doing, like can I put that out and be happy with it, you know, can I actually be satisfied, or can I stay in like a just satisfied enough but still need more so I can keep making more, you know, keep doing more, for myself, like without any, you know, audience or without any like person that I'm trying to follow after, or you know what I mean, like if I just created those people in my mind and then, you know, use that to motivate myself, like, you know, just the idea of knowing that that person is out there, or that, you know, I could always like be achieving more for myself, and let that continue, you know, inspire me to keep moving. But I don't know, man. I just know that there were many times today that inspiring feeling didn't matter. Like I was just like, no, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care about him. I don't care about the other guy. I don't care about what I'm doing. I just want to quit. I want to give it up. And I don't know. It was amazing how much it motivated me for a second, but then it just kind of, I had to keep believing in it. I had to keep pushing it. I had to, you know.
Yeah, it can, when you're just trying to make content, because I believe in like content being, you know, just worth doing. If it sucks and you put it out there, whatever, you know, you can go by under a different name later on in your career if you feel so necessary. Like this phase in your life doesn't have to mark who you are as an artist forever if you don't feel like it matches who you are in the future. And I feel like that's a important like vest to, or just like safety vest to wear, like that as long as you're doing something and that makes you feel good, you should do it. But also I've gotten caught up in just like, hey, I have an idea for a project, I'm gonna do it, and then I never get around to doing it because I'm like, wait a minute, I don't ever want to do that idea I came up with because it doesn't make me happy to do it, you know? And so then I have to search.
I've had some of those.
Yeah. And then when I get there, you know, you can fight it. I don't usually, but I don't have a lot of work done, so you might not take my advice on that. Yeah, you might just want to do it and see where you get to. But I like to search my mind and go, what is going to make me most satisfied now in my present time? Because I have a books full of just ideas, and like they'll come up and I'll write them down, and I'm really bad about this. They just like get backlogged for so long, and then when I go back to them, I'm like, I'm not as interested in doing this necessarily. But if you search your current moment, I find that it's always rich with an idea if you're passionate about it, and if you can make the time for yourself to do something, and then you're like, okay, what is it like that's inspiring me in the last couple days or whatnot that would make me happy? Like I usually can find something that is inspiring, and if it inspires you, I feel like it can make other people happy, and that you should go along with it. But
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Good way to look at it. No, I've found some really old notebooks of like, I should have brought that in. That, see, you got to be prepared, because I didn't know you were gonna say that. And I actually have just found, maybe I'll bring it in next time, but I found like this little tiny like notepad. It's like a little legal notepad, but like you flip it, and I, I wrote like ideas.
A detective's notepad.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, exactly. And so since it's so small, I couldn't even write like a sentence worth of an idea. I just had to do like, aliens are good. Like that's good, and
almost slides of words.
yeah, like what people like this, and do something with that.
Yeah.
Write a script on that. Write a little show, and just a bunch of those, like a bunch of little things. Like, and I was in school, so a lot of them were like school based, drama based, like stuff that you go through when you're younger. But it is weird to see like, and I remember I play the movie in my head, like, oh yeah, that was the movie I wanted to make. Oh, that was that other movie that I thought about. And it's just in flashes, like I see scenes of it. And I think some of them do age well, some of them age terribly, some of them I think, hey, why don't I just take what I think of it now and do something with it and see what happens, and turn it into something with where I think I'm at now creatively, and
I would love
toss
to see
it
some
around.
of these.
I know there's so, like, I don't know, the ideas are so bad they would have to be funny. Like I wouldn't seriously try to put any of those ideas into an actual drama, or a serious piece. It would have to be funny because it's embarrassing. Make light so I don't cry from
Make
it.
light.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, I have a couple things that, like I've told you before, like there's a lot on this thing, on this computer already. There's a bunch of stuff that I've written down and filmed, and like little clips here and there, but I just haven't done anything with it, haven't pieced it together, and haven't really fallen in love with it to the point where it's like I either stop trying to fall in love with it and do it, or get rid of it and do something else, which is actually part of this whole thing too. Is doing this. But if you're down to move on, I'm down to move on.
All right. Let's do it.
The next one is, I don't want to do this, so we don't have to harp on it, but in order to get the tags in, I'm just gonna say current events.
Okay.
And
I've not been keeping up necessarily.
It's not much. It's
okay.
Yeah. So my tagline for the current events, or what I wrote down, was, it's surprising to me that, or let me read it, folks. It says, surprised and also not surprised to see that anyone and everyone right now is scary and capable of evil, by equally being bags of shit, and everyone collectively understanding that and accepting that, maybe we can end racism. So yeah, like
I'm a better visual learner.
So yeah, so right here, current events, question mark. So anyone and everyone has been just completely evil lately. It's, from wherever the case, and I'm not trying to use that as a sugarcoat, like, oh, it's everybody's fault. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, with specifically with Vegas, like, just this milquetoast white guy with glasses. I don't know if you have glasses. This white guy. I pointed at you. I was looking at you, and I was saying, so I started describing you.
White dude with glasses, and then you just assume every white dude
has glasses. Has eye problems.
Weak eyes, those light-eyed people, which is a funny thing too. But yeah, I am a generally positive person. You might know that, and like ever since I moved back from Seattle just a week and a half ago, and we've been going around from like Yucaipa to the Inland Empire, a lot of different places. We went down to Long Beach and Huntington Beach a couple times, and just everyone that, and this wasn't happening as much in Seattle, but everyone that we pass through in doorways, or just the places that we're going, the people are being like extra nice to us, and they are holding doors open, saying thank you and you're welcome, just like all the niceties that you would hope in a friendly little neighborhood and stuff.
I realized that a lot when I was in Cambria, like in Northern California.
Oh yeah,
it was weird. Hi.
Yeah, and I feel like that can get lost in many places. One being the road. the road is a toxic place for sure. No one's happy in 100-degree heat down here and going through the worst traffic in the world. I think it just breeds a lot of angry people. But that's just more on a day-to-day. My personal experience with other human beings has been, it kind of goes back and forth with these events that are, involve the nation and sometimes the whole world. Like, a lot of people can get scared, and some people react to that scaredness by getting defensive and getting scared of every single person they interact with, and becoming, sharp with other people and standoffish and skittish in that way. Then other people, they reach out to the humanity, the shared humanity that we all have, and go like, hey, we're all in like trouble right now. Are you someone I can trust? And like, I want to personally give you signs of smiles and happiness that I'm a good person you do not have to be afraid of. We can be on the same team of like peaceful interactions and promote a healthy earth and like world. And I feel like both are coexisting right now, and I think even the scared people react to the happy people and the people who are reaching out to our common humanity. Like, even those scared people who don't mean anything like harmful right now because they are just scared, like, I think they even react to the positivity. So I personally think the change lies in keeping up a more positive idea of life, because no one fucking knows why that. So everyone I've talked to about the Las Vegas shooter, since we're on that one, like, no one knows exactly why he did it, and everyone has a theory,
Right.
and they're just spreading theories, and they're like, someone will say like,
it was a setup.
Well, my mom has so many conspiracy theories about it, and she made up like 4 possibilities and scenarios that she will stand behind until like
something comes in.
Something shoots one of them down. But in her mind, all 4 possibilities are
exist
like kind of exist at once.
Yeah.
And she's just, I don't think it's a healthy set of mind. We can talk about why he did it, and I feel like people who make up the ideas of why he did it kind of set into these reasons. And I heard that televangelists said that he may have shot everyone because of he didn't like how the government was working or something of the like, and so he thought that there were like, man, what did he say? I thought he was saying that people there supported like our government in the way that it's functioning right now.
Right.
And so that was like the best thing in his eyes to do. And this person just created this idea that now infects the minds of people watching it who, didn't have any other ideas to believe about this person. And now when they go and regurgitate it to their friends, they might leave out this televangelist thought maybe, and they'll just say he did do it. For this reason,
right?
And then
it becomes
it could become absolute on the like 3rd time around, the telephone thing, and these ideas become believed and they become toxic.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, no matter what, until someone has the beat by beat truth, like we're talking about infecting someone, regardless if it's infecting them with a happy piece and understanding of it and getting them to believe that, and then because there is no answer, it's similar to, it's a whole other debate. It's right, yeah, the dude's dead, and then there's no manifesto, there's no there's nothing, no clues, and he didn't,
it's just what the people closest to him think.
Yeah, like, and then they're like, we don't know.
Yeah, and they don't know.
They have no clue, so it's a trip, so That's what I'm saying. Like, you're right. Like, you have a more positive outlook on it. I'm thinking, like, no, let's all, like, agree we all are stupid. Like, we're all really sucky and stupid and make no sense.
That's a good idea.
And, yeah, and then but learn to be okay with that. And from that dirt pile of, like, knowing your shit, and then moving up from there. It's like, yeah, we are rock bottom. Let's just kind of... You can't get any lower. You know, like, really, like, take some peace in that it can't be any lower. Like, you know, we do some pretty terrible things, this just being one of them. But we're not willing to accept that. And we're so quick to find a bad guy, we have to, you know, pin it on something other than ourselves. And then even the verbiage that they use to define him, you know, is frustrating as well. Like the lone wolf. He's the lone wolf. Or whatever, and he's not a terrorist. You know, he's not brown. You know.
Yeah.
So it's
that bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah.
He's
so
very much a terrorist for all our listeners.
You know. Yeah. Exactly. He's a terrorist. He's you know, the worst part of society. So that exists.
And well, it's
and he's not alone.
I think this falls into, like, obviously anyone at this stage in our humanity who goes out and does this to other human beings has serious mental issues. And I feel like mental issues are not talked about enough. I would say that it's my personal belief, because I guess I couldn't tell you the data, but if you think about who is a normal person that you know, that is just a normal person in your eyes, but has their own, like, psychological misfunctions that are not as evident. You know, I would say everyone has their own psychological issues, I think.
Right, absolutely.
I heard, you know, whether it's like being something more extreme like OCD or ADHD, something that needs to be medicated, or someone who's just like has bad anxiety or addictive behaviors, but it's kind of, you know, go under the radar, or, you know, is accepted, like, you know, someone who smokes cigarettes and, like, it has an addictive behavior that they can't really control, but we've all decided we're just going to overlook that because so many other people do it.
And just that, you know, poisons are more affordable than care, you know.
And
so you drink, smoke, fuck your way out of things, and then, you know, instead of going to see a professional for it.
But and so there is no person who avoids all mental misfunctions. You know, even like successful people, like one of the most successful people in the world, Donald Trump, has the craziest mental issues you could ever imagine. But it's those mental issues that got him into this place anyway. So even though he's successful, I would never want to have the
interact with him.
of Donald Trump. If I had his mind, he just seems totally void of, like, any personal, like, internal experience. He just, like, everything is so crazy to him. And so we see these people and sometimes look up to others who have different dysfunctions than us. But to go back to, like, the shooter, like, he obviously has a misfunction in his brain that should be his type of misfunction is a top priority of solving. You know, the person who smokes cigarettes, that sucks, and please don't do it around me. And but, like, I don't think that he needs to see a doctor before someone who is, like, so confused about their life that they see that taking other people down with them before they kill themselves, that needs to be, like, addressed further. And I think what you were saying earlier, people don't want to accept that they have, like, deficiencies that can make them do bad things. Like, I would say that smoking a cigarette is doing a bad thing to yourself.
Right.
Like, and most smokers know this. I was talking to a smoker, and he's like, man, you're lucky, dude. Like, You don't
deal
you don't deal with this. You don't smoke. You're a lucky guy.
I don't want to. I don't want to do this.
He's like, yeah. I'm like, if you act, and I don't know. I could go into that, but it's like, I guess I should jump into things because then I get sidetracked.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
You gave me so many hashtags. We have, or whatever. We have a lot of tags that we can use. We have Vegas shooting. We have Trump now. And on the count of 3, let's say hashtag gun control. 1, 2, 3. Hashtag gun control. All right, we got another one. But let's move on. Lighter topics. I have a few things that I wanted to tell you about. Oh, great. 3 missed calls.
Oops. That's what happens.
We're gonna do podcast after the podcast. So that
when you turn off the phone.
Yep.
You need a marker?
No, we're gonna keep going. But now I'm forgetting everything. Notepad.
That's why you wrote it down.
I saw a funny thing. Ready? Here it is. There's a food truck, and it was called the Middle Feast. Food in the Middle Feast.
Instead of the Middle East?
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was a good idea.
The Middle Feast.
Now, I don't know if we're stepping on anyone's toes by bringing it up, but I mean, go eat there if you want. It's free advertising. But the Middle Feast.
The Middle Feast.
I thought it was funny.
You saw that driving around?
Yeah. You just drove right by and it said the Middle Feast, and it was It wasn't decked out, and I was glad it wasn't like stereotyped or racist, like they had like guys on it or something. But it just said the Middle Feast, and it looked like it was on.
I don't think I've had Middle Eastern food. Yeah. What is Middle Eastern?
I don't know.
No, yeah.
Look it up, peeps.
Maybe we should go hunt it down.
Look for the Middle Feast.
Next podcast, Middle Feast truck food review.
Search for the Middle Feast.
Tour at the Middle Feast.
Exactly. Sweet. Let me see. What's the next one? Oh.
Burps are allowed, right?
Yes, that's fine. We'll do that. This will be the podcast after the podcast because it's quite a bit of a. It's one topic, but it'll obviously take us a little bit. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening. It'll probably be me listening to it over again, and Drew listening to it. So that's at least 2 listeners.
So my own voice.
Good for us, right?
I
Anyways,
usually hate that sound, but I'll give it a go.
I learned to be okay with it. It took a lot of recording myself to masturbate to it.
I need to stop laughing like that. I'm just gonna.
No, that's the most beautiful part of you. Don't ever change that. All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.